Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have the new Boxy Charm palette. This is the Norvina Volume 3. I actually got this in pop-up. I did end up choosing the purple palette, and I figured we could just do a look with this and talk about mental health, because that's what I've been wanting to do, and for some reason I'm steering away from it, or maybe not necessarily steering away from it, but just not doing it, stalling in some way. So let's sit, let's talk, let's do the things that I really wanted to do from the beginning with this channel. Today I just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about my journey in life, what I've been through, and how it's affecting me now, and how the diagnosis of my disease kind of triggered it to become more. I guess what I'm trying to say is I had healed a lot of this in the past, and now because of certain triggers, it has come up and been a problem again recently in my life. And I think a lot of us are feeling this in general. So let's just get to it. So I'm going to be telling you guys here's the colors of this palette. It's a beautiful palette. I think I'm gonna go with an orange look today because it's actually one of my favorites. It goes with this. I love the butterflies on it. It actually goes with the shirt I have on, which it says, become the change, which I love. So we're gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do today. It's my daddy's birthday. He's asleep in the other room. It literally just turned midnight. I am taping very late at night. All right, guys. So I am going to pause for a second, prime my eyes, and come back, and then we will start talking. All right, guys, so I am primed, and I'm going to take my Lunar Beauty, the LBE2. I'm going to dip it into, it's E3. It's actually upside down, but it's E3. And we are going to start to chat. All right, so none of you know because I haven't really spoken about this part of my life, but in my childhood, I dealt with a lot of like abuse, or constantly feeling like I was never doing right, just like I couldn't make anybody happy in my family and in my life, and that's because I now know as an adult that they were dealing with their own battles, and not at all because I wasn't loved, but as it felt at that time as a child, I did feel like I was always trying to do more, like do the most, because I wanted people to be like happy or proud of me. So like when I play soccer, I'd play like state, indoor, outdoor, high school, township, like everything, because my father loved sports. My father actually is the one that had custody of me. He and my grandmother, my grandmother mainly raised me most of the time, because my father was always working to provide, and also to he had his own demons. Everybody has their own demons as adults, right? So I had kind of gotten to a place in my adulthood after having my son where I was working literally 5 jobs at one time between my own modeling career. I was working at Victoria's Secret. I was working at 2 restaurants, and then I was taking gigs like here or there for promos and stuff whenever I could, right? So I was just doing the most. I had gone from having my son and being 160 pounds to very quickly in 3 months, I was posing in like swimsuits and lingerie and stuff. Again, stress. Everybody was like, how did you do it? How'd you lose this weight? Stress. That's how I lost this weight. So, go. I was scared. I was a single mother. I was doing it by myself. And I again find myself in a place where I have to do the most, but now it's because I have to provide for my son. So like I said, I kind of got into a place where when I started my own company, which was also in the times of me running 2 other companies and still doing promotions and modeling on the side, I started to realize that like I was doing too much when I got sick. And I think it all hit me at one time that I needed a break, which was right around the time that the pandemic started. So the main part of my healing and realizing I didn't need to do as much all the time came from the pandemic. It came from me being able to, sit by myself. And I mean, the healing had started when I had my son. That was the greatest part of my healing. But it was still there, the need to constantly go and feel like I was never doing enough. Even as a mother, like I always just have mom guilt. Like I couldn't take a trip without having horrible mom guilt. Or every time I'm at work, I have mom guilt. It was the worst, Even when my son's asleep and I'm working a job that's at night and I'm not missing time with him, mom guilt somehow, right? All of us moms do it. If you're a mom or a dad, okay? So what happened to me, I think, when I had started to heal and was in a good place with this, is that I was handed a life-altering and threatening disease. Like, at any point in time, this disease can take you. I think it re-triggered that need to go, get everything done. How much time do I have here? Am I doing enough? Am I gonna set my son up for the rest of his life? Like, what am I doing here? I have to get enough money for him. I have to have X amount in the bank account. I have to work several jobs. And recently, why I've not been here is because I have been doing just that. And in the midst of doing just that and starting with a company that like actually, you know, appreciated me from a comedy club that I used to work at that did not appreciate me and told me I needed to take time off. And, you know, as is, I'm not supposed to be working right now with my disease. I'm same color, same brush, just this side. I am, and it's because mentally I needed to. I was getting to such a dark place, like depression wise, and I'm checking on everybody else's mental health, and I'm great at that. I'm great at taking on everybody else's and being able to heal everybody else's, but I'm not great at being able to handle mine. And recently, you know, I have been trying to work with other companies and build for this company that have brought me in and tell them all the things that I can do, and they know that about me. That's why they wanted me. They're very clear about that. But for me, it's like, I need to do this. Have you talked about this? Can I take over the social media? Wanting to take over full-time management, but knowing I can't. It's a 3-hour drive back and forth to work. I can't do that every day. I tried to do it 4 or 5 days a week, and it just didn't do my body any good. So I find myself feeling like I'm not doing enough and constantly looking for more to do with this company. And it's crazy because I feel like I'm giving like a time clock. And if I don't get all of these things done, right, I'm just not doing enough. I'm not, just that doom that sits over top of us about our lives. And that's when I realized, like, everybody's got a time clock. Mine isn't known, just like the next person's isn't known, but for some reason when they told me this, it felt like it was coming. I need to get things done immediately now. And the reason I bring this up is because I feel like all of us, when COVID hit, felt some type of PTSD, like some form of PTSD about this, because we were fed so much stuff by the media. Not that it's not real, I'm not one of those people. Like, science, obviously, it's a real thing, and we need to, you know, do the best we can to, and whatever that is that you believe is best, whether it's getting the vaccine, not getting the vaccine, I'm not here to have that argument. But we all were scared to death, and also feeling like we had to keep a job, also feeling like we had to take care of our family, all these things. But were any of us taking care of ourselves? Probably not, right? So I'm all about self-love. I get on here and I want to talk about what's good for the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, you know? And I was just shoveling things for myself to do in front of me, one after next after next, so that I didn't think about what was handed to me with that disease, like that fear, that sentence, whatever, you know, you may want to think of it as. And I got to a place where I'm constantly trying to do so much that I feel like it stresses out other people around me that are working with me, because not everybody wants to go the speed that I do. And I think that I'm doing it because that childhood trigger of never feeling like I'm not doing enough, and then this new heaviness of, when is my time? Am I going to have done enough? Are both weighing on me, right? So I come to this conclusion, and I think we got to talk about it, guys. Because I feel like I'm not the only one of us that feels this. And after the pandemic has lightened up a little bit, we go right back into that gear of go, the rat race, right? But none of us are really taking care of ourselves in the mental health and realizing that it's not healthy at all, that everybody's time clock is ticking, that we have to enjoy the things that really matter in life. And I talked to, you know, videos prior. Sorry, guys, let me just do this real quick. I'm going to jump into 2A. Let me see if I can flip it around, that bottom bright color here. And I am going with the LBE3. Okay. So I think so many of us were overlooking our mental health as time was, you know, before the pandemic hit, before we were all scared of like everything, you know, of going to the store, of if we were going to have enough toilet paper, of everything, right? This impending doom that is sitting over top of us. And as each news article comes in, it's happening more and more. We're all scared literally to death, right? That's what's happening. We're scared to death. And one, we don't realize how it's affecting others, but two, and biggest, how it's affecting us. Let's be real. We're all scared. We've all just experienced a level of trauma and fear and not done anything about it, have we? I mean, I don't know that I have. I think I just jumped at the first chance of getting back to normalcy and did it. And part of it was great for me because it's necessary. I'm not the type of person who can sit and do nothing. It's not who I am. If you know me, I've always been hustling. Since I was a kid, I had 2 jobs as a child, and I always wanted to prove myself and how well I work and what I bring to the table. And right, that makes me great to work with, I suppose. And then also like a nuisance kind of to work with, I would think, because not everybody wants to go at my pace. Not everyone wants to go, 95 in the 60 lane. Some people just want to go 60 and get their way. And I think what I realized is I'm not enjoying any of the now. I'm not enjoying any of the fact that I own a company that just went back to, work, and that we are around each other again, and we're a family, and, we can be out doing things, and it's safer now. And I haven't been enjoying that. I haven't been, my son and I finally just started going back to date nights. On every Tuesday, we used to have date nights prior to the pandemic, and then we'd go on trips. But I wasn't doing, any of this during the pandemic. And then I kick up in a full gear, and it's like, I want to do it all over again. And my body isn't having it. I don't have the same body that I did. And again, I feel like a letdown. I feel like I'm not doing enough. All of these childhood things pop back up, right? How many of you guys know what I'm talking about at all? Or am I just rambling? Does any of this make sense? It felt like something that was heavy on me that I felt needed to get off my chest. And I don't know if one person needs to hear it, or 3 people need to hear it, or somebody months down the road finding this needs to hear this. But what are we doing to stop? Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the fact that we have come out of such a traumatic time and are slowly but surely getting back to things that matter. And we just can't ignore the fact that we have had such trauma, not dealt with it, and then just go right back to the rat race. Is that what we all want to do? I feel like a lot of us have reevaluated the situation in life, or I hope. If you haven't, I really would urge you guys to sit and realize, were you happy in doing what you were doing before the pandemic? Are you in a place now? I'm sorry, I now went into the same brush into A5, which is this really bright neon, a little bit darker though. So are you, and were you happy with what you were doing? Is it worth it to go back to the same thing? There's so many companies now looking for people to work with them. So many. It's insane, paying way higher. And that's one of the good things that did come with, everything, is that people are starting to understand what their employees are worth, And some people might have realized, hey, I found my calling in YouTube and playing with makeup and talking about real life things and letting people know that they're not alone, and figuring out how we can break this down, how we can do better in life, But are any of us doing that? Or are we all just jumping right back into the rat race? Please leave below if anything has changed within you when the pandemic started, if you started to realize that you were really not taking care of yourself, you were really not living in a healthy way, respecting your own body, or if you were not taking time for yourself, if you realize that's not the place for you to be, that's more than okay. Because as much as society tells us that it's not, as much as society tells us that we're supposed to work a 9 to 5 and do all these things, is that really what we're supposed to do? Or is that what we're kind of spoon-fed to believe, so that we just kind of pay our taxes and go through life and all that? And I say all that to say this: the biggest thing is, are you taking care of your mental health for the traumas that we've just experienced? Are you looking at yourself and how you're affecting others? If you haven't healed from the trauma and maybe don't know that some of the things you're doing are a direct reflection of childhood things that are not healed, or just because of the pandemic alone and what we've experienced, or just because of the world and how it is, right now, even though we're getting better, sick wise, there are a lot of things that have not been handled that we watched go down during the pandemic too. and I'm not trying to turn this into a political or a racial conversation, just how are we all doing, really? Because I know that a lot of my childhood traumas have come back, and for two separate reasons: a diagnosis, and because I've had so much downtime that it feels like go, go, go again. And I don't know if that's how we're supposed to live. I think we're all just told right now that we're supposed to get up and go back to work and hustle and do all these things, and I don't know if it's healthy. What do you guys think? I just wanted to get on and I guess share this because I really felt in my heart that somebody else might be understanding what I'm saying right now. Somebody else might be in fear. Somebody else might be still experiencing issues because of the trauma or not healed them at all. Some of you might not even notice how much trauma this has left us with, but it has. And at some point we have to face it, because it's not going to be healthy to go back to life. We're not doing ourselves a favor, our children a favor, our friends a favor, our family a favor, our coworkers a favor, any of that, if we can't stop and realize that there are some heavy things lying on us currently right now, and we need to talk about them. I am now going to take my, this is the Lunar Beauty LBE5. And I'm going to take, I really like this, like, it's hard to tell, but it's like a shift of like orange and gold right here. And it's called D5. So this is kind of what I've got going on around. I have different color orange here, different color orange here. And then like, it's really hard to see. It kind of looks monochromatic, but I swear it's a little bit different. All right. But yeah, I'm going to take this and I'm going to pack it down the center. So let's talk. Is anybody on the same wave as me, or am I totally alone in this? Let me know. How can we fix it? What can we do? So I used to do this thing called float therapy, which was amazing. It was like, I have to go do it. As a matter of fact, it's going into a float tank. So a float tank, you might see them as like pods and stuff, but in Marlton, New Jersey, it's Float SNJ. They were some of the world's largest float tanks, and you go in for an hour and a half of your time, and you sit in complete sensory deprivation, and you float on top of water. That's the best thing I can say. You float. There's so much salt in it that your body literally rises. You can close off all the lights, close down all the sounds. You can also turn like lights on or music on if that makes you feel more comfortable. But I used to go in there and just have the craziest breakthroughs of like how I was actually feeling about things. And I would just say, if any of you are possibly going through the things that I'm talking about, if any of you are thinking like, I don't know if I am, I'd advise to just try it, or try meditating, or try planning, an hour of time where you sit by yourself and think how you felt prior to the pandemic. If any childhood things were brought back up during the pandemic, just fear. I have a lot of, childhood things that I'll end up talking to you guys at some point, but fear and not feeling safe, did any of you feel that? And then when this happened again, did it affect you at all? And how did it affect you? And then what people might be affected by it affecting you? Because everything really is a chain reaction. And I just really think that it's a conversation that nobody's having. We've had conversations about makeup. We'll have conversations about the pandy itself. We'll have conversations about heading back to work. We'll have conversations about how many jobs are open. We have conversations about so many things. And yet the one thing missing is, are we all okay to go back to the world as it was prior? And beyond that, how do we feel about traumas that we had before? Are we doing anything to heal the trauma that is the pandemic or pandy? Because I don't know, if you can say these words or not right now on YouTube. I hope like any of this like rambling has made sense to you guys. I really do. But yeah, something I felt like I needed to get on and talk to you about. We needed to get back to what I wanted this channel to be in the first place, which was mental health, which is healing, which is peace, which is really talking about things that are real and not censoring ourselves and not being scared to talk about actual pain in our hearts, or our past, or childhood traumas, or healing. All of these things are so important to me, and that's why I'm back talking about them, and will continue to be back talking about them. So that was what was on my heart today. I hope any of you guys can understand. I wish for you guys that you don't necessarily exactly understand, but that if you do, maybe this brought out something in you that you were like, I need to sit with myself. I need to take an hour, per week. If you're not going to a therapist, go see a therapist. If you're need more, if you need an hour a day, at least 15-20 minutes to a day, please, guys, please do that to yourself, because we're living in such a crazy time. It is necessary. But just have the talk with yourself. If you can't have it with me, if you'd like to have it with me, talk down below. I am great with talking to people and helping them work out stuff, just not as much myself, which I feel like is life for most people in general. Also, if there's any questions, if there's any subjects you'd like me to talk about mental health wise, please listen down below, because I would like to know what you guys want me to talk about, because that's when I'm at my best. When I'm trying to fumble through my own thoughts like this, I'm clearly not at my best. But when you guys give me a topic, that's when I feel like God and the universe and whatever flows through me and comes out of me so much better, like divine intervention type of thing. So give me 1 second, guys. I am going to finish my face, and then I'm gonna get on and talk to you guys about a few other products, and then I'm gonna finish out this. Maybe I'll do some swatches of this palette if you guys want to see. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to dip into Cafe Con Leash. You want to come here for the pronunciation. Just giving myself a little bronze. This is the light color, and I worry it's a little too light, even though I go lighter with my foundation, because it's still like my winter shade. I guess actually it looks good in the finder right here, the viewfinder right here, but on my face it's taking a lot of building up. But okay, it's happening. A little bit more warmth, I suppose. Alright guys, so I also picked up these Trestique. It's supposed to be a brow pencil, a cream shadow, a cream highlighter, a cream blush, and I had a cream bronzer, but I already lost it somehow on my desk, and it's actually rather clean versus the last time you looked down and saw it with my mirror. So don't know where that is. I'm going to throw a little bit of this on, and I will show you the finished results. Goes on really nice for now. Oh, it's warmed up now. It's gliding on nicely. Alright guys, so this is my finished look. I did go ahead and use a little bit more of the Trestique blush. This highlighter is blinding. Let me tell you, just beautiful. It blends a little bit rough at first, but it blends in nice, and then once it's in, it's in. I did end up going and using this D4 color. It's a little bit of a coppery darker orange to go underneath the eye. This is the finished eye look. I used a little bit of the cheek to go on the lip, and I had already used the brow product before. Not my favorite, my sister's favorite, so I brought several of them for her birthday and her graduation, but nonetheless, it's pretty good brow products. I absolutely I'm so sorry about that. I absolutely love this. This is the perfect color to set under my eyes. This is a good, like, just to bring a little bit of color to my face. And this is good for bronzing the face as well. What else did I try? I think that's it. So, all in all, this was more of a, let's talk a little bit about the new Boxy items coming in July, as well as talk about how we're doing, just diving in to the real world. Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we healing still? Are we trying to just forget about everything that happened and move on, because that's not great for trauma. It will come back up in your past, and I think it's something that we need to talk about more. Everybody is so ready to go back to doing things, and nobody's ready to talk about how do we heal from the things that we just were handed, right? So like I said, let me know down below if you would like to talk one-on-one. I'm all for that. Let me know what you're doing to take care of yourself. Let me know something maybe I might like doing, like I told you guys about Float. Check out Float. FloatSNJ.com is a great website just to check out what it is and find a place near you. I really love this palette. It is a win. I'm excited to do more looks. Let me know what color look you'd like to see next. And really, just like I said, be careful, because you're not only just affecting you, you might not realize how you're affecting the others around you. Like I said, for me, I'm just in go mode. I feel like I'm never doing enough. I have to do more. I've never been good enough. And that is my own thing that I tend to stress others out with, because they want to slow and steady, and I want to win this race. So I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back and holding out for me to, you know, be the change. I'm really trying. I'm just trying to find my way in doing it the perfect way. So let me know how you guys feel about this video below. I love you all, and thank you for, you know, letting me chase my dreams. That's all I want to do, is help others and hear from mental health issues or pain and trauma that they've been through and the world puts us through. Also, I would just like to say, on my Instagram and my Facebook, my Instagram is I am Jessica Gray, GREY_, just like my YouTube name, just with an underscore. I have posted on my story right now. It's a young, beautiful girl who is going through her battle with cancer, and she's a friend of my sister's, and it's a real heartwarming story that we're trying to bring some attention to. If you would just go on and share that for me, that would mean the world to me. Bring some attention to that and her fundraiser coming up on July 24th. Again, I love you all. Thank you for allowing me to do these things, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.